Hello, my friends. Welcome back to Woven English. It is so good to have you here. Now, imagine this. You are standing on a small island in the Mediterranean Sea. The wind is strong, the streets are quiet, and somewhere nearby, a young boy is looking across the water toward a world that seems impossibly far away. He is not rich, he is not powerful. He does not even truly belong to the country he will one day rule. At school, other boys will laugh at his accent. They will treat him like an outsider. But inside him, something is already growing. Ambition, discipline, and a belief that his life can become much bigger than the island where it began. Years later, that same boy will command enormous armies, defeat powerful kingdoms, place a crown on his own head, and make almost all of Europe fear his name. But the higher he rises, the more dangerous his ambition becomes. So, how did a lonely boy from Corsica become Napoleon Bonaparte, Emperor of France? And what mistake finally destroyed everything he had built? Stay with me, because today we are going back to the very beginning, before the victories, before the empire, before the legend. This is the story of Napoleon Bonaparte, and it begins on a small island called Corsica. Napoleon Bonaparte was born on August 15, 1769, in Ajaccio, on the island of Corsica. His family belonged to the minor Corsican nobility, but they were far from rich. His father, Carlo Bonaparte, was a lawyer, while his mother, Letizia, was known for being strong, practical, and deeply disciplined. Napoleon was the second surviving child in a large family, so life at home was often busy and demanding. From his mother, he learned that comfort could never be taken for granted. Growing up in Corsica gave Napoleon a strong connection to his island, his family, and the difficult world around him. But even then, it was becoming clear that his future might lead far beyond Corsica. His island home was small and distant from the great capitals of Europe. But for young Napoleon, it was only the beginning. Soon, his family would make a decision that would send him far from home and change his life forever. Even as a child, Napoleon did not behave like everyone around him. He was serious, quiet, and often preferred books to games. While other children spent their time playing, Napoleon could sit alone for hours, reading about history, ancient Rome, famous generals, and powerful empires. He was especially interested in stories of men who had risen through courage, intelligence, and determination. But Napoleon was not simply a dreamer. He had a sharp mind and a strong personality. He could be stubborn, impatient, and fiercely competitive. When he believed he was right, he did not easily change his opinion. He also grew up with a strong sense of Corsican identity. At that time, Corsica had only recently come under French control, and many Corsicans still felt separate from France. Young Napoleon was proud of his island and its people. This would later make his first years in France even more difficult. His family soon noticed that he was intelligent and unusually focused. His father understood that education might give Napoleon opportunities that Corsica could not. So, when Napoleon was still a young boy, a new path opened before him. He would leave his family, cross the sea, and enter a world where almost everything felt foreign. The language, the culture, and even the people around him. For the first time, Napoleon would truly become an outsider. At the age of 9, Napoleon left Corsica and traveled to mainland France to continue his education. Soon, he entered a military school where life felt completely different from home. He spoke French with a strong Corsican accent, and some of the other boys mocked him for it. He was far from his family, surrounded by students from richer and more powerful backgrounds, and often felt like an outsider. But Napoleon did not allow loneliness to defeat him. Instead, he turned to study. He became especially strong in mathematics, geography, history, and military subjects. He read constantly and learned to depend on discipline rather than popularity. Those difficult years changed him. They made him tougher, more independent, and more determined to prove himself. By the time he entered the military school in Paris, Napoleon was no longer simply a boy from Corsica. He was preparing for a life in the army. In 1785, at only 16 years old, Napoleon completed his military training and became a second lieutenant in the French artillery. He was now an officer, but his life was far from glamorous. His pay was limited, his family had financial problems, and after his father died, Napoleon felt an even greater responsibility to support them. He continued reading, studying, and thinking deeply about politics, history, and war. Then France began to change. By the late 1780s, the country was facing a serious crisis. The government was deeply in debt. Food prices were rising, many ordinary people were struggling, and anger toward the monarchy and the privileged classes was growing. In 1789, the French Revolution exploded. The old political order began to collapse. Crowds filled the streets. New ideas about liberty and equality spread across the country. Powerful families lost their positions, and the army itself was transformed. For many people, this chaos was terrifying. But for a young officer like Napoleon, it also created opportunity. The old system had often rewarded birth and social position. Now France desperately needed soldiers who could think quickly, lead effectively, and prove themselves through ability. Napoleon was ambitious, disciplined, and ready. He did not yet have fame or great power, but the world around him was breaking apart. And inside that chaos, his chance to rise was finally beginning. Napoleon's rise through the French army was astonishingly fast. As the revolution created chaos, France needed young officers who could act decisively. Napoleon saw his chance. In 1793, during the siege of Toulon, he helped French forces recapture the city from Royalist and British-backed troops. His use of artillery played an important role in the victory, and his commanders quickly noticed his talent. Soon after, Napoleon was promoted to brigadier general. He was only 24 years old. For a young man who had once been mocked as an outsider, the change was extraordinary. Soldiers respected his confidence. Commanders valued his intelligence, and Napoleon began to understand that military success could open doors far beyond the battlefield. But becoming a general was not the end of his ambition. It was only the beginning. Very soon, France would give him an army of his own, and Europe would begin to learn his name. In 1796, Napoleon was given command of the French army in Italy. At first, the situation looked difficult. His soldiers were tired, poorly supplied, and often hungry. Many older generals had more experience than he did. But Napoleon brought something different: speed, confidence, and an ability to make his men believe they could win. He moved quickly from one battle to another, attacking enemy forces before they could fully unite. Victory followed victory. At places like Lodi, Arcole, and Rivoli, Napoleon built a reputation as a brilliant commander. His soldiers began to admire him, and news of his success spread across France. He was no longer just a young general from Corsica. He was becoming a national hero. Napoleon also understood the power of image. He sent reports back to France, describing his victories and presenting himself as the man who could bring glory to the nation. In 1798, he led an expedition to Egypt. The campaign was far more complicated and less successful than his victories in Italy. But his name remained powerful at home. By the time Napoleon returned to France, the country was politically unstable, and many people had lost confidence in its leaders. Napoleon now had something more valuable than military fame. He had popularity, influence, and the belief of many French people that he might be the strong leader their country needed. And soon he would make his move. In 1799, France was still unstable. The government was weak, political conflict was constant, and many people feared that the revolution had created more chaos than order. Napoleon saw his opportunity. With the support of powerful allies, he helped overthrow the government in a coup and became first consul, giving him control over much of France's political power. Over the next few years, he strengthened the government, reorganized the country, and increased his authority. Then, in 1804, Napoleon took an even greater step. Inside Notre Dame Cathedral in Paris, surrounded by officials, soldiers, and religious leaders, he was crowned Emperor of the French. The boy from Corsica had reached the highest level of power, but Napoleon was still not satisfied. Now that he controlled France, his attention turned outward. Europe was waiting, and so were his enemies. For the next several years, Napoleon seemed almost unstoppable. His armies defeated some of Europe's strongest powers. At Austerlitz, in 1805, he won one of his greatest victories, crushing the combined forces of Austria and Russia. Other victories followed, and Napoleon's influence spread across much of continental Europe. Kings were defeated. Borders changed. Old governments disappeared. Napoleon placed relatives and loyal supporters on foreign thrones and created a network of states tied to France. At the height of his power, his empire stretched across a huge part of Europe. But Napoleon was more than a military commander. Inside France, he reorganized the government, improved administration, supported education, and introduced the Napoleonic Code, a system of laws that influenced countries far beyond France. To his supporters, Napoleon brought order after years of revolution and chaos. To his enemies, he was an ambitious ruler who threatened the balance of Europe. And despite everything he had achieved, Napoleon still wanted more. Each victory seemed to convince him that another victory was possible. But there was one country he could not easily defeat, and one enormous decision would soon push his empire toward disaster. That decision came in 1812. Napoleon invaded Russia with a huge army made up of soldiers from across Europe. At first, the Russians avoided a decisive battle. Instead, they retreated deeper into their country, destroying food and supplies behind them. Napoleon followed, moving farther and farther from his own supply lines. Eventually, he reached Moscow, expecting Russia to surrender. But the city was largely empty. Fires broke out, and no peace agreement came. Then winter arrived. Napoleon's army was exhausted, hungry, and far from home. During the terrible retreat, thousands died from cold, disease, starvation, and attacks by Russian forces. The army that had entered Russia with such confidence returned shattered. For the first time, Europe saw clearly that Napoleon could be defeated, and his enemies were ready to act. The empire had not collapsed yet, but the fall had begun. After the disaster in Russia, Napoleon's enemies united against him. Austria, Prussia, Russia, and Britain formed a powerful coalition. Napoleon continued fighting, but his army was weaker, his resources were shrinking, and the pressure became impossible to stop. In 1814, enemy forces entered Paris. Napoleon was forced to give up the throne and was sent into exile on the small island of Elba. For many men, the story would have ended there. Not for Napoleon. Less than a year later, he escaped Elba and returned to France. Soldiers sent to arrest him instead joined him, and once again he took control. But his comeback lasted only about 100 days. In June 1815, Napoleon faced British and Allied forces at Waterloo. He lost. This time, there would be no second return. Europe had finally defeated the man who had once seemed unstoppable. After Waterloo, Napoleon was sent far away from Europe to Saint Helena, a small and isolated island in the South Atlantic Ocean. There would be no army waiting for him there. No soldiers would come to bring him back. No great political comeback was possible. For the man who had once controlled much of Europe, life became quiet. Napoleon spent his final years walking, reading, talking about his past, and remembering the battles that had made him famous. His health slowly declined, and on May 5, 1821, he died at the age of 51. His extraordinary journey was over, but Napoleon's story is difficult to describe with only one word. He was intelligent, disciplined, ambitious, and an extraordinary military commander. He also fought wars that caused enormous suffering, and his hunger for greater power eventually pushed him toward disastrous decisions. Napoleon's story began on a small island called Corsica. After conquering kingdoms, commanding enormous armies, and crowning himself emperor, it ended on another small island thousands of miles away. He had traveled from the edge of Europe to the center of power, and then back into isolation. Perhaps that is the final lesson of his life. Ambition can take you farther than anyone expects. Discipline and knowledge can turn an outsider into a leader. But success becomes dangerous when you begin to believe there are no limits. So, what do you think was Napoleon's greatest strength and his greatest weakness? Tell me in the comments. And if you enjoyed learning English through this story, keep listening with Woven English. Every new story is another step forward.